I am Ayanna Anderson. I am the Senior Vice President of Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging for Highwire PR. And one of the areas where we get so excited is definitely our ability to partner with community organizations in the spirit of social impact, in the spirit of supporting the communities where we live, work, and play. And the Helping Hands team partnered with Hope Hearted in support of a Women's History Month initiative, um, putting together hygiene kits in each of our Highwire offices. And I'm so delighted to be able to sit down with a team member, a co-founder of the organization that we partnered with in the Bay Area, Hope Hearted. And I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, Quinn Nguyen.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Quinn
Perfect.
Nguyen from Hope Hearted. So Quinn, thank you for being with us today.
Of
And
course.
I thought it'd be great to just start off, just if we could hear from you, if you wouldn't mind telling our audience about how Hope Hearted was sort of launched to begin with, what your mission is, and sort of how it all got started.
Yeah, so thank you again for having me on this interview. So my name is Quinn Nguyen, and I, along with three other co-founders, had initiated Hope Hearted, and it kind of just started when me and my two co-founders all worked at a hospital together, based in San Jose, and we were just all volunteers starting it off, and we noticed how there were a lot of supplies that were just going to trash and going to waste since they just passed the expiration date, shelf expiration. However, they were still good in use, but because it was past the expiration date, they had to toss it away. And San Jose and the Bay Area has a very high rate of unhousingness, and we saw this issue especially when COVID hit. So that kind of pushed our this is where we pushed our needs and we're like, look, there's a lot of people in the Bay Area that needs these goods, especially during the time where all of us are struggling and the unhoused population were struggling the most. So
Mhm.
this is when we kickstarted Hope Hearted, and our last co-founder was a sister of our other co-founder, Chloe and Heather and Asabri, and I all teamed up to create Hope Hearted. And that's kind of where we initiated and kickstarted it during COVID. And it was a little tricky at first because we had to follow all the regulations of COVID and try to go out there and help all the unhoused population as we could. But through donations and monetary supplies, with all the different partnerships we had, we were able to gain a lot of donations, purchase all these goods, and partner up with hospitals as well to get all these supplies out and deliver to the unhoused population. Which is kind of our mission, is to just bridge that gap with our unhoused neighbors, and kind of just hopefully inspire people around us to also do the same and just help our unhoused folks around us.
I love that. And so even though you all have all matriculated out and you're now pursuing some additional things
Yes.
professionally, Hope Hearted continues. And is there a component where young people are also connected, like other high school folks who have that affinity for giving back? Like maybe it's,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just curious to hear about that.
No, yeah. So because this was an initiation since we were in high school, once we all went to college, we kind of went our own ways, but Hope Hearted is still something that we all come together and still help out. So that's when we initiated chapters. So this is where high school chapters and all high schoolers of any kind can apply to start a chapter of their own at their high school, and they can just become their own president, have their own little student body government for their own chapter, and it's where we have monthly meetings telling them what our goal is, and they would report to us what ideas they have. So this is where we get the youth to get involved with us in our mission and to continue our impact with all the population. While we can't physically be in the Bay Area, we have our high school chapters to help us out with that.
Amazing. And so, Quinn, I can imagine you have had a lot of hope-hearted moments where your heart is so full about the work you're up to. I wonder
Oh,
if
definitely.
you may have, an example or two of something that was just a really, profound moment, a proud moment that sort of stands out. And also if you all have learned some important lessons along the way with just the partners you work with, what it means to get these supplies. We'd love to know about some wins and maybe some lessons learned.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess the most memorable moment I had was when me and my co-founder Asabri went out to Palo Alto. We worked with this shelter where they house unhoused folks in their little condos and apartments. So this is where we came in and we knocked on every single one of their doors to provide a wholehearted kit to them. And at first, when they open the door, you can tell they have their guard up after being through all these sorts of traumatizing events. Of course, I can imagine what they've been dealing with on the streets. They would definitely have their guard up. But as soon as we told them who we are and what we're trying to do, and we just handed these gifts, these kits, in hope that it can maybe not, it might not be the most impactful, but it definitely did help maybe for like a couple of days or so. We can see just like the immediate like relaxation on their bodies, the smiles they gave, and just the appreciation they had for us, not just for the physical kits itself, but just generally just having that interaction, like just being able to be seen eye to eye. And that's just something we want to continue to really reinstate in our mission is that at the end of the day, we are all human and we should never jump to conclusions as to why they are here. There's always so misunderstood and a negative connotation when we use the word homelessness, which is why me and my co-founders like to say unhoused people instead, calling them homeless. So because there's just such negative connotation and they're just down upon in society, just being able to just talk to them normally and kind of just seeing them just like a regular like person on day to day and being seen as what really helps them throughout the day. So that's what my biggest moment was just being able to have these like conversation and get to know them more and just being able to just having those like little day-to-day interactions where I feel they might have missed out a lot throughout their time. So that was definitely one of the wins we experienced.
I love that. And
Yeah.
I'm in astonishment because A, you all have these lofty goals. I know one of your goals is to try and get 10,000 kids out, and you
Right.
started that in 2020, and here we are nearing, halfway through 2024 almost, which is wild to imagine. And then I'm curious about like when you reflect on how far you've come in these past 4 years, does 2024 feel very different from 2020? What does that look like, and how does that goal look for y'all to get those 10,000 kits out the door?
Yeah, so I would say we have grown significantly since we started. As we started with literally just four high schoolers. We were what, like 16, 17, and now we're entering our 20s. Chloe's our oldest, she's becoming 23, and we all have these bigger goals in mind, and just seeing our development is truly astonishing as we have expanded not just within the Bay Area, but we went all the way down to SoCal. There's chapters we have in Southern California, and it's just truly amazing to see how much impact we're making, having that such large expansion all throughout California and helping our population. And it's just really amazing to see. And with our goal, we are working towards it. Thanks to our chapters, they're definitely helping us reach our goal, reaching with our donations. And we're trying to get out these donations and these kits sent to each high schooler so they can build it and then partner up with even more. Local shelters and whatnots and food banks to help out as many people as we could. So we're definitely getting towards our goal for sure.
I love to hear that. And I love to hear that the chapters are expanding and that you have a bunch
Yes,
of new stewards of this work who are taking up the mantle and
right,
advocating. Amazing.
right.
So, on behalf of Highwire, this year for our AAPI Heritage Month theme, we really wanted to shine a light on the diaspora, meaning the many, many countries that are represented under that umbrella of Asian American, Pacific Islander, American Hawaiian folks. And so our theme is Roots, Representation, and Resilience, celebrating the AAPI diaspora. I wonder if you would tell us a little bit about your background, heritage-wise, and just with this theme, if anything sort of connects to you, whether it's like being rooted in your community traditions or the importance of representation or even resilience, particularly as I think about the work that you're doing in the community.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a Vietnamese American. I'm first generation in America here. So my father was actually a boat person who escaped from Vietnam after the whole war and everything. So he came here and escaped Vietnam on a boat when he was only 15, and then my mom came here when she was around 20. So that's kind of where my roots of being a Vietnamese American stands for. And it's just kind of every time I see myself in how successful I am in America and how I'm able to pursue all these accomplishments, it just takes me back to remember when my parents were had little to nothing when they came to America. My dad was working full time while he was trying to be a student, trying to get his education too. And I recognize all the struggles they have been through and can't be more appreciative for where I am today and how much they have gone through for me to be pursuing my degree and whatnot. So that kind of just pushes where I am at Hope Hearted and why I want to continue helping out our community, because we see so many people struggle, especially in the Vietnamese community in San Jose. There is a large population of Vietnamese people, whether they are low income or high income, they're still all struggles that many have gone through, and especially immigrants when they first come here due to the lack of the language barrier and just assimilating into a new country. It just makes me go back and remember these are the people who we need help, and it's not just Vietnamese Americans but just anyone who's in this kind of boat and situation as well. So that's why Hope Hearted, we will never what's the word, trying to think of the word, if you can help me out here. um we would never like target anyone or anything. We're always accepting and providing for whoever needs it. So it kind of just takes me back to how our mission is just to help everyone in general and why I'm here, and seeing the amount of impact we've done for our community is amazing.
I love that. And that takes us to our next question, Quinn.
Yeah.
Is, you know, here at Highwire, we're a community of storytellers and creatives. And as I mentioned, we have an agency focus on really trying to make the world a better place. And so when you think about like giving advice and like what partners like us, we're, a digital and PR firm, with offices throughout the country. When you think about like what your observation is about how people can be more intentional about being, better partners to the communities where we live, work, and play, where we can think more innovatively about how we give back. What can we do as allies? Like what is your call to action for those of us who want to be in that giving spirit? What's your advice for us?
Yeah, my biggest advice is you don't need to go to another country to serve. We see a lot of people who think they need to go to a third world country to go out there and try to be saviors for them, when you can just be an impact to your local community, for example, San Jose, or wherever you are, San Francisco, the Bay Area. Just being able to go out there, and this is why we call ourselves a grassroots organization, is because we go down to who we are as a community and how we can serve the community at where we are and where we stand. And you can literally just go out, literally Google any local shelter or any organization, nonprofit, and see how we can help. It could be a small organization, even rather than a large corporate incorporation. Just seeing where their true values are and seeing how they are helping this community. Without any other ill intentions, just seeing how your heart is placed. And if you know that at the end of the day, you want to help people, you should just be able to just go out there and just offer yourself. And it could just be volunteering at like your local bank, or if you want to make kits with us, just go to our website and just sign up. And it really doesn't matter. Just being able to make that first initiative and putting your step, taking your foot out the door and being ready to just serve is my biggest advice to everyone. You don't need to book a flight or anything. Literally, just go to your local community and see what you can do there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, again, on behalf of Highwire, we're so grateful for the partnership. We're so excited about your future career as a
You.
clinical person and provider. We have a healthcare practice, so we're all in on issues of health and wellness.
Awesome.
And we hope that we'll be able to continue partnering with y'all
Yes.
in the years to come. And again, happy AAPI Heritage Month. I hope you have
Thank
exciting and
you.
fun plans coming up. And we just appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me again.